Hey Brando, what's going on? Rob Cesternino. Very sad to see you go out of the game. How are you doing today?
Hey Rob, yeah, doing really well. It was great to watch my last episode with my parents on FaceTime. Sort of bringing it full circle to when we first started watching in 2010. So, that was a lot of fun. Had a blast when I was out there, and at least so far, the embrace from the internet has been really warm. So,
Okay, well,
I'm really grateful about that.
good to hear. Sounds like it was a good experience for you overall. Would love to talk a little bit about your boot because I felt like that you were in a really good position at the original bellow. Seemed like
Ah,
that you were in
I
no
know.
danger whatsoever. Did you realize once the swap happened that you were in not such a great spot?
So, going into the swap, I didn't think it was ideal, but we've heard about the twist that we didn't get to see where Kendra got to go to Lulu Beach. And one of the things she came back with was, she was really close with Emily. She spent a lot of time talking to Emily. And so when we got to that swap, I see Kendra, I see Emily. I'm like, great, you know what? We have the numbers. It doesn't really matter what happens. And so I think part of what I was missing was I could have gunned for Emily to be on our side a little bit harder. I sort of went into the swap with that expectation, and I think I shot myself in the foot, doing so. So I,
So
I I was comfortable, and you
okay.
never want to be comfortable on Survivor.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good idea what you did with the shot in the dark, but then we saw that that information got relayed back to Emily. I mean, no, she didn't
Right.
initially believe Drew. It seemed like that she felt like, okay, well, this is a little sus if Brando is doing that. Could you just talk through that move with the shot in the dark?
Yeah. So, we had heard from Emily that she gave up her shot in the dark at a different tribal. And so I saw it as a way to, show Drew that I trusted him, even though he didn't want to be in the Nerd Alliance. Sort of as a, you know, maybe vote for Kendra instead of me. It was sort of getting his heat off of me and trying to extend that olive branch, if you will. And so I think, something that I would have done differently is, I have no reason to lie to Emily about that. Emily was sitting around at camp when Drew shut down that Nerds Alliance. And so I think she would have understood if I explained to her that I was lying to him. And that was a missed opportunity for me.
Yeah. Um, when he shut down your Nerd Alliance, what
Yeah.
was your reaction to that?
Oh my God, I was flabbergasted. I mean, who shuts down an alliance openly to someone's face, when you're potentially going to tribal council soon? So that was something that, I was really taken back by, but he did, he apologized to me for that when I gave him my shot in the dark, stuff like that. And so I felt like it was sort of a gut reaction in that I could have swayed him away from it. And so even, going into tribal council, I was fully under the perception that it was going to be 3 votes for Drew and then 2 votes for Kendra. I didn't even think that my name was coming up.
Mhm.
So, he did a really good job recovering from that moment.
Yeah, yeah. Had Emily given you assurances that she was definitely going to be with you and Kendra?
Yeah, yeah. Emily in some of that pregame press said that she's not a good liar, but I think that she would be surprised watching
Hmm.
herself out there.
I saw that both Drew and Austin wrote Drew pizzas on your voting parchment. Why
Right.
why was the pizza emoji used to vote for you?
Oh yeah. So, we were starving out there. Every night we're talking about food for like an hour before we go to bed. And, pizza is always my go-to. I make my own pizza from scratch every week.
Wow.
I make the dough. Sometimes I make the sauce. Um, I buy like special pepperoni from the East Coast. So, like I'm really into it. And so obviously that's something that's going to come up a lot on the beach when you're talking about food. And so, that was something that they knew that I would appreciate at least seeing on there when I go home.
So, in trying to court Emily over to your side, was there any sort of conversation about how at the original Bello, obviously Bruce was a member of your tribe? Was Emily
Right.
concerned at all about working with you all from Bello, considering that Bruce was going to be part of that group when you got to the merge?
Right, there was. And so our big reassurance for her was, we had our Bando Babes Alliance as we saw in episode 2. We had a group of 4 where Bruce probably would have been the first one out. had we gone to tribal council. And even in the last episode, we see, Bruce and Katura clashing with each other. And so there were reassurances put in place with Emily, like, hey, we will happily vote out Bruce and keep you around instead. But I don't think that was enough for her. Austin and Drew also did a really good job of conveying to us that they were in a really bad spot on Reba. And I think to Emily, it sort of felt like they were more desperate to have her than we were. And that was a big motivating factor for her.
Do you feel like, is there anything that you could have done differently that would have changed that outcome at the tribal council?
Well, there's something that I would have done differently maybe before tribal council. And that is, at the swap, when we get our buffs, I'm unwrapping mine and it feels kind of weird, right? I'm like, this feels kind of stiff. I open it up and there's a piece of Survivor, parchment with writing on it sewn into the buff. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't be seen reading this. I rip it out, I shove it in my pocket. I'm so happy because I'm going back with some sort of an advantage. And when we get back to camp, I get pulled for a walk pretty quickly. And, of course, I ask, is this because of the advantage that I just got? And, they ask if they can see it. So I pull it out of my pocket. I hand it over, never even glanced at it, never even took a look. And I never got to see it again. And so my gut feeling is that I could have either swapped my tribe with somebody else's, or maybe I could have swapped somebody on, Reba and Lulu. But there's a chance that had I read that piece of parchment on the mat at the swap, I could have, changed my own fate in the game.
Yeah. Would you have switched to another tribe if you could have?
I think if I was allowed to, I would have swapped either myself to Lulu, probably with, I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much. Maybe Katura, or I'm lying when I say I haven't thought about it too much. I don't know why I'm saying that. I've thought about it every day since I got voted out.
Yes. Yes.
But I either would have swapped myself to Lulu, or if I had to swap other people, I probably would have swapped Drew with Kelly, so that we would have had stronger numbers.
Yeah. When Austin went on the journey and then he comes back, he tells the story of what happened. Did you think that story was sus at all?
So, Austin's a really good liar. The thing that was the most suspicious to me wasn't that they had to, carry coconuts up some hill and that they failed. It was that they had sandwiches as an option, because in my mind, I was like, there was just fish as a reward at the immunity that we lost. The other two camps are going back to cooked fish. Why would they also offer food at, the journey? And so that was the only part that was a little bit fishy to me. But the rest of it, I believed.
Going back to Bello at the beginning of the game, we never got to see that group go to tribal council. Do you get a sense of what would have happened had the Bello tribe went to tribal council?
Yeah, I think I was really well insulated. I think had we gone to tribal, I had my buff bandos, or bando babes, whatever the alliance was called. I don't remember. I had that bond with Jake from Sweat vs. Savvy. And so I think Bruce would have been in a lot of trouble. Would we have gone to tribal council, especially, we've seen how much Katura talks about Bruce. So that would have been a big motivating factor for him to go home. So, would we have lost that first challenge? There's a good chance that he would have lived a Francesca-esque fate.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We saw in the episode last night that Jake told his backstory about that he had gone through a weight loss journey, but you also had that in your background. Was that something that you two had bonded over?
Right. It was. And it was something that came up a few times at camp. But I would argue that his weight loss journey is a little bit more impressive than mine. So, it wasn't like a competition or anything like that, but it was something that we talked about a good amount.
Yeah. Do you have any other stories from the original Bello of what life was like at camp?
There was a lot of, something that I will say is that I wish I would have spent more time looking for the idol. Original Bello, the culture was a lot of stay around camp. If you're going to go for firewood, go with somebody else. There was a lot of don't go off by yourself. And so part of the reason that, Kelly and I started to get a little bit nervous about Katura was because she was constantly missing from camp. She was constantly saying like, oh, I'll be right back. And then she'd be gone for 2 hours and we'd be wondering what was going on. And so the culture at Bello was a lot of don't do anything suspicious, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so then you stay at Bello, right, after the swap, and then Austin and Drew come in. They had already
Right.
found the idol at their camp.
Right.
Did you then start hunting for the idol after original Bello had broken up, or did you notice Austin and Drew looking for the idol at Bello?
So I never noticed them looking for it, but there was a day that Kendra and I went out and we just looked everywhere that we could. I mean, Bello Beach is massive, and there was no clear indicator that there was even something to look for. I think that's part of why we didn't, I didn't find it, at least before the swap, is because part of what we talked about is like, we saw how many idols there were in the last season. Maybe they're holding off a little bit. We saw the perception of that before we went out there. So I think I should have spent more time, but at the swap, there were so many other things to do too, so many new relationships. We're so tired. Day 10, all we did was sit around camp and talk because we were so exhausted. So I think I definitely should have spent more time doing that.
Yeah. We saw that you made overtures to get closer to Kendra in this episode.
Right.
Was that go down pretty much the way that we saw it in the episodes?
Yeah, I think so. Kendra and I aren't super similar people. And so that was part of why I was nervous about being swapped as her being my only Bello member. We weren't that close at original Bello, but I think something that we bonded over was the fact that we were the only original Bello on the tribe, right? It's like that motivating push to be together. But at the same time, we did both throw each other under the bus at some point. So
yeah. We saw that you tried to, have those conversations with Drew in when you offered the alliance to him, talking about Pokemon. But did you have much of a
Right.
relationship with Austin?
Yeah, so I had a pretty big bond with Austin over both being, Asian American men, the fact that we're both half Asian, and we had a little bit of an Asian alliance promised to each other that didn't come to fruition. But Austin was somebody that I would have been really comfortable going further in the game with. I think he did a really good job socially of making me not target him for strength or anything like that.
Did everybody at Bello have a certain expectation about Emily from before you got to meet her?
Yeah, so before any of us met her, and before Kendra went on that episode 1 twist that we didn't get to see, everyone sort of had the perception that Emily wasn't the most pleasant to be around at camp. And so when I finally got to meet her, when she was finally at Bello Beach, I was shocked. I mean, we got to see Drew talk about it a little bit too, because I think Reba had the same perception. But maybe it's because she worked on her social game. But Emily was a lot of fun to have around camp. She's super nice, super friendly. And we were grateful to have her around. I don't think there was any world where she was at risk.
Do you have any other interesting stories that happened during your time on the new Bello?
Oh my gosh. New Bello was a lot of just sitting around, to be honest, because we were so exhausted. I think the biggest thing was, day 10, that night, my last night on Survivor, was downpour for maybe like 12 hours straight. It was the most miserable I had ever been on that beach. I was out there starving. I lost around 20 pounds throughout the whole thing in only
Oh my
11
God.
days. Yeah. And so, I was going through it before that tribal council. And hey, maybe that's why we lost that immunity challenge. We were pretty beat.
Have you been inundated with all sorts of messages from Pokemon fans around the world since the episode?
Oh my God, so many. I think I've had like around 200 people ask me if they could be friends with me on Pokemon Go. It's been wild. I can't believe that had such a big reception from the internet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, Brando, it didn't work out, but just think about the Pokemon friends you made along the way.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
You caught them all.
I did, and maybe in the future I'll catch a few more tribal councils. Who knows?
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to let people know?
I don't know. I think be kind to everybody that gets voted out eventually. Some people have been going through it with the internet, and at the end of the day, nobody deserves that. So it's all love on Survivor 45.
Okay. All right. Well, Brando, really nice to get to talk to you. I thought you were very fun on the show. And so hopefully we can keep in touch after all this is over, even though I don't play that much Pokemon.
You know what? I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide. It was
All
great talking to you.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck outside of Survivor.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And hopefully I get to try one of those homemade pizzas one day.
Yeah, someday. I'll come make one for you.
All right. I would love that. All right, Brando, you take care. Okay.
All right, you
All
too.
right. Bye.
Bye.
All right, friends, time for some This Week in Survivor History. Back here with our longtime historian, putting this all together week after week. It's Jordan Kalish. Jordan, how are you? Jordo.
Yes.
Have you considered going by Jordo after Brando?
I think it works for Brando. I don't think it really works for me. I think I'm more of a, most of my friends call me Kalish. They don't even call me Jordan, but Jordan works too. I'm not really a Jordo.
No,
you are the only person who calls me Jordo.
You're giving Jordo to me.
I give Jordo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely think that Brando gives Brando, and I think that Brando is giving us a lot on the show. It's gonna be sad going forward without him. I like Brando a lot.
Yeah. Can we give a very special birthday shout out to Sam Moore? It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday, Sam. Sam.
I'd like to dedicate my win in This Week in Survivor History to Sam today.
Yeah, what you're guaranteeing the win? You're pulling a
guarantee. I'm guaranteeing a win for Sam today.
All right, Sam, you heard it. Rob is doing. You have. This is like when Paul O'Neill had to promise 2 home runs to the kid in the hospital. So this is Sam. Great. Just put in the chat. He greatly appreciates his Twitch shout out. And he said that his birthday would not be complete without being mentioned on Twitch.
Okay. All right. We're doing it for Sam. Okay.
Doing it for Samica.
It's okay. Jordan.
Yes.
Jordo. Okay. Let's go. What do we got here for today?
Okay. We have a great game. We have a game that
is also the Halloween edition of Twish.
It is. I am ready to get that candy, just like Austin was ready for his turkey sandwich. I hope I do better getting candy than he did getting a sandwich.
I was a little disappointed last week. It was my birthday week, and I thought we could have done This Week in Survivor History of only about Survivor episodes that aired on my birthday.
We probably could have done that.
You could have done a quiz only on. Save that for next year. Only on October 20th. Only episodes of Survivor that aired on October 20th.
I think let's put it in the bag. I'll make a note on my phone for next year. And I'll remember to do that. So
let's see.
Good idea.
October 20th Survivor episodes. You'd have to go through. Maybe I think you can go on like epguides.com and then you could see from all of the different seasons.
Is there an easier way that I could be finding when these episodes happened other than scouring Wikipedia every week?
No, I don't think you'd be scouring Wikipedia every single week. So just go to episodeguides.com, epguides.com, and then let me just bring
up. Let's see how many seasons you had an episode on your birthday, because we would have to make sure there's enough.
It would be all the even seasons.
Do you have any specific Survivor memories of things that happened on your birthday?
Of Survivor episodes? Well, I know that Survivor 41 definitely aired on my birthday. From recent memories.
This week would be a week past your birthday. I don't even remember I don't think we did talk about 41.
I think that somehow because I remember that was the only time that I had done Survivor Know-It-Alls on my birthday. So that's when I said it was the even number. It was the odd number.
The odd numbers. Is that when Genie Machini got voted out?
Yes. So in October 20th was for an episode in season 41.
Okay.
Then also, you could do the research in between now and then.
Yeah, this is my job. I have plenty of time to get this done. So
yeah,
I'll start right after we finish recording.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right. Survivor Guatemala, episode 6. Big ball, big mouth, big trouble.
That would be the episode title on your birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's I'll definitely hit up Guatemala and 41 and whatever other season happened to have a October 20th episode. Maybe we'll just go all Guatemala.
Nope, only that. Well, it would be for next year for my birthday.
Yeah, for your birthday, I'll package it with a little neat bow on top.
Okay. So for today, do you have all questions that are about Sam's birthday, October 26th?
I probably not. I'm sure that a lot of these episodes happened. Well, it's Sam's birthday week though.
Survivor Nicaragua, episode 6, worst case scenario.
Yeah, great episode title. Not really, it's kind of generic, but we are going to be talking about a couple episode titles because there are some titles in Survivor history that are not generic. They were named after things that were said, or they're quotes from Survivor contestants who were on the season. So I am going to give you the season. I will give you the title. You have to tell me who said the quote that named the episode. And I picked all ones that make sense. So they're like, some are ridiculous. These ones I think you're going to get. I think you're going to go 4 for 4 on this game.
Okay.
The first one is Survivor China. That's love, baby. It makes you strong.
Okay. That James said that.
James said that. Yeah. He gave Todd a big hug that almost injured Todd. And he said, that's love, baby. It makes you strong. So you start 1 for 1. Good job.
That's love, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to Survivor HHH. The past will eat you alive.
The past will eat you alive. Do I get multiple choice for this or no?
You do not.
I think that, okay, I'm going to say Ben Driebergen said that.
Ben Driebergen, yes, talking about his past struggles with PTSD. It was very, very heartwarming scene. And yeah, that was the name of the episode. You are 2 for 2.
And I say that after every episode of This Week in Survivor History. The past will eat you alive.
But the future will save you. Which that was not really the rest of it. I think the past will eat you alive, but something will save you. I don't remember what it was. That could have been the TWISH question. But you are correct, 2 for 2, and we are going to go to Island of the Idols. Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Who said that? I'm going to say that the person that said that, I'm going to say it was Boston Rob that said that.
So Island of the Idols. I'm going to say it's a player on the season. So because that would have been sort of like
I know it. Okay. Yes. So
I was very confused for a second because I was, wait a second, he was not on Island of the, but he actually was technically on Island of the Idols.
The person that said that was Missy Bird.
It was Missy Bird talking about Detective Dean trying to figure out the case of the Chelsea Walker vote, and she just wanted him to be happy that he wasn't voted out.
Did you watch her on Fight to Survive, Jordan?
No, I did not.
On the CW with Libby?
No, I didn't even know about this.
And Stephanie Gonzalez?
They got the big 3. How did they do that?
Yeah.
Wow. I maybe have to go back and watch that.
And Seabass was on the challenge. This was like the return of Ghost Island.
Wow. So maybe instead of the birthday TWISH next year, we'll just do a full rewatch of Fight to Survive with the 4 greatest Survivor legends of all time.
No, well, Seabass wasn't on. He was on the challenge.
Oh, he was on the challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. I am a one show guy, Rob. I watch Survivor, and I know all these other Survivors. They branched out into the reality universe, and I know I do watch I do watch the Surrey, like I'm watching the
except for me. Now I know nobody ever calls me and says, "Hey, Rob, would you be on this crazy show?"
I think they should. I mean, look, if you were on a show, I'll watch the show.
Yeah,
put Rob on Buddy Games or Squid Games or whatever show that.
I'm not going to be one of 456 losers.
A lot of money though, and it's the fake Squid Games. They don't. You're fine if you lose. You don't die. You'd be okay. So I think you should. I think you should do it. I think it'd be good. And I have one more episode title for you. We have this one. I know you're gonna get Ready to Play Like a Lion.
Oh, for what season?
41.
I'm ready to play like Erica Casapanen, who I hear was on another person who did a different show on Traders Canada. Yeah.
So you're a full 4 for 4. I knew you were going to get that. So doing very well so far in the quiz. You are you're getting closer to making your promise true to Sam to get a win on his B day. So let's go to
that
the
was
first
my promise for him that he said like
he's very nervous right now that you might blow it, but I have confidence in you, Rob.
He said, "Rob, will you kill TWISH for me today?" And I think he meant ace the quiz and not cancel it. I'm pretty sure that's what he meant.
Though I feel like a big portion of his job is trying to figure out.
I was like, Sam, what do you want for your birthday? He's like, please just kill TWISH. And I was like, okay, we'll knock it out of the park.
I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill it this week. Yeah, that is exactly what he meant. We are going to now go to the next question. Survivor Millennials versus Gen X was the first season to pause the game due to severe weather. This week in Survivor history, which season became the second due to a cyclone on day 13?
It was David versus Goliath.
David versus Goliath. That is correct. You get 2 points for the correct answer there. Christian Ubicki has a great line that said, "Today we're all Davids and the storm is the Goliath." So great job. You are still perfect on the quiz. Question. This is the next question. Back in the day, Survivor had some weird tiebreaker rules. This week in Survivor history, Carl Balancione was voted out due to losing the infamous Bush Survivor quiz trivia to Lindsay Richter. Yeah. The 4 votes that Lindsay received at this tribal, however, would eventually get her sent out of the game due to the pass votes tiebreaker. Who were the only 2 players in Survivor history to go out on the pass vote tiebreaker previous to Lindsay?
Previous to Lindsay.
Yes, it only happened twice before.
The past votes tiebreaker. Well, one was Jeff Varner.
That is correct. Thanks to a previous vote from Deb, and the Survivor community says thank you, Deb.
Yep. And then who else got? Then was it also? Was it Mitchell?
Mitchell Olsen. That is correct. He was tied with Keith, and actually the vote that sent him out was from the Mad Dog vote. Keith cast the vote for Mitchell, so it ends up being a good move for Keith because it saved him at that vote. So again, you get that correct. You have your perfect 8 for 8. We have 2 more questions left. Who was the last player voted out before the Guatemala merge, therefore making them the final player in Survivor history to be eliminated before the introduction of the hidden immunity idol? Who was the last boot of the pre-idol era?
Okay. So now last vote before the merge.
The introduction of the hidden immunity idol. Nobody found it in this episode. This episode is called the hidden immunity idol, but Jeff Probst does tell the players about the new twist at the merge. So who was the last player voted out before the merge?
Okay. This is is it Brian?
Brian Corden, unfortunately, was voted out during your birthday week. The player voted out during Sam Moore's birthday week. And I think she's going to come beat you down since she's forgetting that wrong. Amy O'Hara. So you do not get that question right. We have one more question. You can rectify this, Rob. Based on the next time on Survivor, it looks like we're getting a merge or at least some kind of mergatory. 1 year ago on Survivor 43, who didn't compete in the mergatory challenge due to picking a gray rock, but successfully bet on the winning team and was therefore immune?
Okay. I believe it was, I'm going to say it was Carla. Oh, wait, hold on. It was not. Can I get a
you never said final answer.
Okay. It was Noelle.
Noelle. So Noelle, yes, we had Deb Eaton who talked about rocks and she picked the gray rock. Noelle is correct. You get the 2 points for that question. You finish 10 for 12. So that is a win. You fulfill your promise to Sam Moore. Congratulations, Rob. You're a winner on TWISH today.
I did it for Sam. Sam, do you want to say anything?
He does not.
I'm so honored. My Sam, day is made. I'm so excited. Thank you, Rob.
That was for you, Sam.
Greatest present I've ever received.
Sam, I love the Yankee hat. Perfect hat to wear. It's a whole, now that the baseball season's essentially over, nobody cares about Rangers, Diamondbacks. It's a whole new season. We're in it next year, Sam.
This is a national, global podcast, Jordan. That don't insult the people of Arizona and Texas.
I love Arizona. Look, Arizona's a great. I mean, I've been. Those are 2 states I've been to within the last.
They gave me one of my greatest World Series memories. Okay,
which one? Oh, come on.
That was a great World Series.
That was
Seven games. Okay. Come on.
Yes, it would have been a great World Series if it ended a little bit differently in 2001. Rob, aren't you in
Randy
New York
Johnson,
for 2001?
Kurt Schilling.
The whole country. That was the one time the whole country should have been rooting for the Yankees.
No. Okay. All right, Jordan. We are gonna have lots of great stuff today. Survivor Know-It-Alls with Steven, patron Q&A, talking about Survivor at 7 p.m. What's coming up for you?
We had a great time at the viewing party last night in New York City. We had a costume contest. A lot of people came up. We had Alex Forstenhauser wearing a great Brandon Donlin costume. We had someone dressed as Mark the Chicken. The winner ended up being a guy named JJ who dressed up as Ozzy. If you look at my Twitter, you can see the picture. He looks just like Ozzy. So great. So again, if you're in New York, we had a Sheldon from the UK patron come all the way down to watch Survivor with us. That was the only reason he came to the country. Probably not true, but he had a good time. So again, if you're a patron and you want to watch Survivor in New York City with other fans, come to the viewing parties. I'll give you all the details that you need, and you can follow me on Twitter at Jordan Kalish.
All right, Jordan, great job. Thank you so much for listening to our exit interview. Make sure you subscribe to everything we're doing at Rob as a Podcast. Go to either robasawebsite.com/subscribe or our brand new Survivor only mini site. Go to survivorpods.com and subscribe to everything we're doing here on the network in terms of Survivor. Thank you for joining us. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.